Warning, this podcast may be disturbing to some listeners. Due to the graphic nature, listener discretion is advised. Welcome from wherever you are. This is the Demon Inside podcast. I am your host, John Venom. If you would like to review another episode of the Demon Inside, you can go to Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and any podcast platform. You can also find us on YouTube and on our website, thedemoninside.transistor.fm. And please don't forget to subscribe and rate us with 5 stars. A new episode will come out once a week. Hello, my Demon Insiders, and welcome back to the Demon Inside. I'm your host, John Venom, and today we are going to be doing 2 cases. Now, I know I don't do 2 cases at the same time, but with these 2, I actually couldn't find a lot of information to fill up a whole episode. And these are kind of similar. Now, it's not a pattern as far as the killers go, but it is kind of a pattern to why they killed. And I'm going to explain that. So the first one we're going to talk about is Andre Antoine Duprey.
Bail remains at $1 million for the St. Paul man accused of killing his soon-to-be doctor girlfriend early Sunday morning. 28-year-old Fannie Faye was found stabbed and shot when police arrived to arrest her boyfriend, 29-year-old Andre Duprey. Bill Hudson was in the courtroom today, and he joins us right now. It was just packed with Faye's family and friends.
Very emotional, very disturbing details of this crime, absolutely. The criminal complaint against Duprey details a horrific murder scene inside the couple's apartment, but it also sheds some light on his strange behavior both before and after the crime.
We all miss her, and we can't do nothing about it.
The brother of Fannie Faye sobbed with emotion as family and friends left court today. The 28-year-old was studying medicine at the U of M, soon to be a doctor. It's where she met her longtime boyfriend, Andre Duprey, a political science grad.
We heard a lot more loud yelling and shouting and jumping.
2 a.m. Sunday morning, neighbors heard a commotion inside the Highland Park apartment that the couple shared. Laura Latteray heard Duprey muttering.
When he was coming down the stairs, what we heard him say was, "They won't let me off the leash," just repeatedly.
When police arrived, they found Faye dead on the bedroom floor, shot and stabbed multiple times. Duprey was clutching a knife in the hallway, chanting, "Demon, demon," but they can't yet say what led to the killing.
The investigators are working through that type of information right now, trying to determine the facts that led to this unfortunate incident.
Duprey had been a legislative aide to State Representative John Lesh until a year ago. At his first appearance today, he stood silently outside the court. Fannie Faye's brother spoke of the family's overwhelming grief.
We all miss her. That's all. We all miss her. You know, look at all my family. We all miss her, and we can't do nothing about it. You know.
So sad. We also learned that police encountered Duprey 24 hours earlier in Lower Town in St. Paul. He'd been drinking, was kneeling, clutching a Bible, saying he was about to die. Well, when he calmed down, they took a folding knife away from him and drove him home. He'll return to court on February 1st. Just a heart-wrenching, terrible crime.
And there's no history of any sort of mental illness or anything
absolutely
like that?
nothing. No.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
You bet.
So, Andre Antoine Duprey, I have a little bit of a background on him, and he had gone to college, and that's where he met his girlfriend. And this was at the University of Minnesota, where he got his political science degree, and he became a legislative aide at the state capitol in St. Paul in Minnesota. And Andre, who is actually out now, he has gone back into that field. And I'm going to try to be very delicate with this because he is out and he is working again with political people. But on the night before the murder happened, which was in November, The police were called to a club, a local club, where Andre had been drinking, and he was on his knees after they had thrown him out, and he was praying with the Bible, and the police went up to him, talked to him. He said he was this was the last day of his life, and they ended up taking a knife away from him, and they ended up taking him home. This was 24 hours before this whole incident happened. Now, I don't understand why the police didn't take him to the hospital for a 5150 evaluation. And if people don't know what 5150 is, it's a psychological evaluation at the hospital. A lot of times, police will take somebody there that they feel is not acting right. But besides that point, so the next day, they were getting ready to have their Thanksgiving, which was coming up, and it was going to be a family reunion. So Andre's aunt and her daughter, who was, I believe 7 years old, was there in the apartment when Andre and his girlfriend started arguing. Now, his girlfriend started messaging people, texting people, saying that he was acting erratic, he was acting weird. They had been together for 8 years, and she really loved him, and he really loved her. And that's why she was kind of not prepared for what was going to happen, because she didn't believe that he was capable of something like this. When they were arguing, the aunt got really scared, and she grabbed her daughter and they ran out of the apartment. And she says the last thing she saw was his girlfriend sitting on the bed while Andre had a rifle facing her and yelling at her. And she was crying. And he was saying, "Demon, demon." So when the police get there, and we're talking about 2 a.m, the police arrive, and they find that his girlfriend is laying next to the bed in blood, and she was shot and stabbed several times. Andre kept saying, "Demon, demon, demon," and they ended up arresting him. Now, before he was arrested, he was standing in the hallway by the restroom, and he had a knife, and the police told him to drop the knife, and he wouldn't let it go, and they ended up tasing him several times before they could actually apprehend him and arrest him. And the tasers had really no effect on him, and we've talked about that before with Austin Haroff and some of these others that have tried tasing these guys, and it has no effect on them. So he was covered in blood, and his shotgun, which was a shotgun, it wasn't a rifle, it was also covered in blood. He had shot her twice and stabbed her several times. And when they took him into the police station to do the interview, he said he didn't remember any of it. And they asked him what he could remember, if him and his girlfriend were having any problems or if they had been in an argument or anything. And he said, and I quote, "My girlfriend's not okay, is she? Huh?" End quote. After that, he asked for a lawyer, and that's when they stopped questioning him. He was convicted, but he was also sent to a hospital where he was institutionalized for a while and released. Now, like I said, I don't have too much info on that. That's pretty much what I have. The way I see it is whatever was in his room, or he thought was in his room, he thought there was a demon. We've heard this before with Daniel Torres Jr., where Daniel Torres called 911 saying that his girlfriend had sent demons after him. And he was very adamant about it, and he was very scared, if you go back and listen to the episode. And I break it down really good. And on this one, there really wasn't much information because this happened, like I said, in November of 2017. And it was a blip in the news articles. And it was, I mean, I'd never heard of this case until I started looking it up. So now we go into our second case. The next case is going to be the demon inside Lesley Satenay.
An Eatonville murder suspect says demons drove him to kill his friend, and he thought he was fighting the devil. That's according to a police report after a woman was found dead early Saturday morning. 40-year-old Lesley Satenay is now in jail. Police responded to his home on Deacon Jones Boulevard around 4:20 a.m. Officers say they found a woman's body in Satenay's bedroom. According to their report, Satenay confessed to killing an innocent person who was his friend and said she did not deserve to die. Investigators say they found a frying pan near her body, as well as a pipe and a Bible, both with blood on them. Satenay allegedly told police he woke up to demons and hit the devil with a Bible. Police say he told them he grabbed a frying pan and struck the person 3 more times. Officers tell me it was Satenay's friend who called for help, but Satenay himself also dialed 911.
Now, I just spoke with officials here at the Eatonville Police Department. They tell me they are running some tests to see if there were any drugs or alcohol in Satenay's system at the time. We expect to have more updates soon. Reporting live, Amanda Crawford, West 2 News.
So Lesley Satenay, all I could get was that he was from St. Lucia in the Caribbean, and he was living in Eatonville, which is in Florida. And him and his girlfriend were together for a while. He said that they weren't boyfriend, girlfriend, they were friends, and it was pretty much friends with benefits. And they had been in a good relationship, and on Friday, and now listen to this, Friday the 13th of July in 2018, they were together. They had their relations, and Lesley thought that by the morning she had left the apartment. He says that he was asleep and he got awoken by demons, and he was fighting for his life. He says that he grabbed a knife and started stabbing upward because he said this demon was big. He said it was the devil. And there's a difference between demons and the devil, but according to him, demons woke him up and he was fighting the devil. And he said that he was swinging up, and this is very important, and I'll tell you why in a second. But when that didn't work, he grabbed a pan from the kitchen and started hitting this demon, or this devil, and he was swinging upwards. He was swinging also with a Bible and a pipe. Now, I couldn't find any of the police reports or anything like that. So it's kind of hard to find out why it went from the bedroom to the kitchen. Even the 911 calls, supposedly she made a 911 call first, and then he made a 911 call saying that there was a devil in his room. And again, I couldn't find any of that. And I really wish I could. But once again, we're talking about this was 2018. And a lot of times, you know, these things are just gone. I mean, they don't exist anymore. And so, according to him, he was waiting outside for the police. When they showed up, he was covered in blood, and he said there was a devil in his bedroom. So when the police walked in, they found her body in, which I believe was in the kitchen. Because if he had a frying pan, I would have assumed that they fought into the kitchen. But anyway, There was blood on a Bible, which he used. There was blood on a pipe, which he used. And there was blood on a pan, which he also used. Now, there was something foreign, a foreign object in her mouth, and they didn't say what it was. But I'm assuming maybe it was a crucifix, or maybe it was something spiritual. I really wish I could have found the actual investigation reports on it, because it sounds very strange to me, to say the least. And when the police arrived and they saw Lesley outside, Lesley said there was a devil in his bedroom. Now, of course, when the police went in, they found her and they told him that it was her, and he started crying and saying, no, it was a demon. It was a devil. This thing was big. She's little. He goes, I was swinging up. I was standing and swinging upwards. How did I hit her? You know, because she was small. Then he said that he was very sorry, that she was an innocent person, that she didn't deserve to die. He was very, very sorry for killing his friend. He said that they were friends, that he didn't mean to do this, that he swears it was a demon. Now, I don't know what happened to Lesley after this incident. I don't know if he was released, or he was imprisoned, or he was sent back to St. Lucia in the Caribbean. I don't know anything about this case after what I've just told you. Now, they said that they were going to do a toxicology report. I couldn't find that either. So that kind of either leads me to believe that the news media didn't care about this story, or they didn't find anything to report. Now, here's my question, because we've had where several different people have said they're fighting demons, and it's not an exorcism. It's not there was a demon inside of her and I had to kill her. No, these are delusions of them seeing demons and fighting demons. For instance, with Andre Duprey, he shot her twice with a shotgun and stabbed her several times. Why the overkill? What they call overkill is, I mean, if you shoot somebody in the head with a shotgun, you're pretty much done. But he shot her twice in the head and he stabbed her several times. Why the overkill? Because he assumed that this demon was still alive and he had to finish her off, or finish the demon off. Maybe he didn't see his girlfriend. Maybe he saw what he thought was a demon. Lesley said he was fighting up. He stood up. He was hitting it with the Bible. He was hitting it with his knife. He was hitting it with a pipe. He was hitting it with, the pan. He was fighting for his life to something that was much, much bigger. That's why when they told him that it was his friend, he said, no, I can't believe that. She left in the morning. He goes, I know she left in the morning. He was asleep by himself. They were very convinced, just like I told you with Daniel Torres Jr. He was so convinced that he said he had videos and pictures and proof. And I wish I could have found that proof in those pictures. So, is there a demon? And I'm going to ask this. Is there a demon that is blocking these people and they're seeing these demons or whatever, and it's telling them, you need to fight this demon. You're the hand of God. You are a warrior and you need to kill this person, or you need to kill this demon, because if you don't, the demon is going to kill you. Now, why was Andre praying the Bible and saying it was going to be his last day on earth? Remember, there's been others that have said, like Michael Bria, who who said it was going to be his last day on earth. Did God come to, Andre and say, this is going to be your last day on earth and you need to do something. You need to do this. Because remember, Michael Brea also killed his mom, saying his mom was a demon. And he says that God was over his bed and told him this was going to be the last days of his life. All of these stories sound familiar. Could it be that there's a demon, let's say a trickster demon, who is going around and getting these guys to kill their loved ones because they think that it's a demon? It could be. Why didn't this guy, and Andre, here's another thing. Andre was actually an ex-military. He was ex-army. Him and his girlfriend have been together 8 years. No sign of any type of mental history, no type of drugs, no type of drinking. He couldn't sleep, according to his girlfriend. She had started texting people saying that he was acting erratic, but she didn't want to call the police because there was weapons in the house. She didn't want him to get in trouble because he wasn't acting in his right frame of mind. Lesley Satenay didn't have that chance because when he was awoken, he was fighting the demons. Think about that. If you're asleep and all of a sudden you wake up to a demon, what do you do? He got up and started fighting and fought for his life, or at least that's what he thought. We've actually gone through where people that sleep maybe can see something that others can't at that specific time. Is that what happened? I don't know. Were they on drugs? I don't know. Did they want to kill their girlfriends? No, obviously not. There was no reason for them to kill the woman that they were with. Lesley, it wasn't even his girlfriend. They were friends. He said she was an innocent person. Andre killed his girlfriend of 8 years. So, is this demon going around tricking people like Daniel Torres Jr., Andre Duprey, Lesley Satenay, Michael Brea, and convincing these guys that they are fighting with a demon, and if they don't fight this demon, the demon is going to kill them? Thanks for listening, guys. Have a good week. I'll talk to y'all next time. Don't forget to subscribe to the Demon Inside podcast on any podcast platform. A new episode of the Demon Inside will be released every week. Let us know what you think of the episode on any of our social media platforms. If you have any questions or comments, go to the Demon Inside podcast at gmail.com or click at the link below. We would love to hear from you. And to become a Demon Insider, go to the demoninsidepodcast.transistor.fm. We thank you for listening and hope you will join us next week for a new Demon Inside podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please tell your friends. I am John Venom, and I'll see you next time, if I don't get possessed. The Demon Inside was created and written by James Porter. It is a production of Venomous Entertainment. Background music is by Lucas King. And the title song, The Demon Inside, was produced by Rice Fulber. Music and lyrics by Peter Shelley. And performed by Conjure One. All the content on this podcast is strictly the opinion of the content creator and not the organization, its affiliates, or employees.